Hello. Welcome to a masterclass in blooming into the future, which probably seems completely crazy given what's going on in the world right now. But bear with me and we'll get there. Most of you know me. I'm so grateful that all those familiar faces are here, including my mom. Oh, Fiorita, hello. How are you? Nice to see you. More people coming on, so I'll just, this is called vamping. Not in the vamp in the sense of a long cigarette holder and, being sexy. Vamping is where you just talk until the energy arrives, you talk until it's time. Okay. Everyone a deep breath. Those of you who know me know that when I run a Zoom, a class of any kind, masterclass is for you masters out there, it's an energy event. There's things to hear, things to process with your mind, but mostly it's about energy. And so it's a little bit like the whole hour or so that we are talking together. It's a co-creation of your energy, my energy, the energies. And I will be running some activations, but I will always tell you, I won't be secretly running activations on you. I just thought of that. I'm now running activations. Like, no, I will let you know when we are going to together run an activation. But I find I have learned that the class, the Zoom, the telecall is always created out of the people's energy who are on it live, very dynamic, and even the people who will listen to it later. Because as we know, there is no such thing as time. It's all happening simultaneously. However, the point of power is always in the present moment. And you'll hear me say that many, many, many times. If you can be present in this moment without distraction, oh my goodness, sometimes that's hard. If you can be present in the moment, you can align your vibrational frequency to anything you desire, whether that be health, well-being, money, joy, peace, harmony. And what I have also discovered is that even just 10 minutes can change the future, not just for you, but for the planet. One person spending 10 minutes being present, happy, joyful, relaxed, peaceful, feeling good, changes the future for everyone. So what would it be like if we spent a lot more time being present and blossomed and bloomed into the future? I know there's a lot going on the planet. This is the time, that we have been told is the Great Awakening. Well, it feels like the great falling into a giant hole in the earth time, right? It is the time of the quantum leap or the quantum shift. We'll talk more about that. But specifically, now I'm going to try and stick to my notes today, guys, because I tend to ramble. Specifically, in this masterclass, I call it a masterclass. I know that word is bandied around, but it's to subtly hint to you, remind you that you are actually already a master. Your long period of initiation is over. Your long period of being the student and never the master is over. And it's time to acknowledge that. Anything that doesn't allow you to see that for what it is, this is part of the new energy that's here. It's part of the quantum shift. The Great Awakening is to suddenly go, I actually have everything I need right now. And what is required to bloom and blossom your own life, but also contribute to the future of the planet, is some words you probably don't like to hear: consistency, commitment, Scheduling a few things for yourself and putting aside some of the distractions. We'll talk more about that. So specifically in this masterclass, I'd like to talk about 5 main things. They're not secrets. You've probably heard them before. The first one is, if there has been a huge shift, we are now out of, you may have had 10 or more years of self-analysis, digging around in your past, in your psyche, in your belief systems, doing transformation work, doing change work, doing fixing work. There has been a shift where it is no longer necessary to do all of those hard yards. You've done it. It's over. You have undoubtedly reached a point where what you think about, what you feel, what you imagine, what you spend time daydreaming about is going to start showing up quite quickly for you. But if you are not being conscious and aware of what you're spending time thinking about, talking about, and focusing on, some stuff you don't really like will continue to show up, both on the world stage and for you personally. So that's number one. Where are you using the potentials available to you now against yourself? Number two is, how are you managing your energy? How are you managing your frequency vibration? Once you are this open, aware, expanded, every subtle nuance, wind that blows, smell or scent that comes your way has the power to begin changing your vibration. And so it is not about building walls, lead line shields, purple light to protect yourself. It's about, oh, how do I thrive? How do I continue to blossom with all of that going on around me? How do you manage your energy? And I'm going to come back and go through all of these. Number three, how do you contribute to what's going on in the earth? Because you care. Who doesn't care? We do care. The cyclones, hurricanes in the USA, wiping out whole towns, the ongoing war, well, the ongoing wars, all of those situations. It's time to get real with yourself. If you are still carrying ancestral patterns or past life patterns where you must save or rescue the earth, people, children, animals, whales, whatever it is, trees, okay, that you must pick people up and carry them over the finish line. You must somehow drag people kicking and screaming towards enlightenment or the new earth. It's time to do some letting go of all of that. You probably know the background to that, and we'll discuss more of it. If you're trying to save someone, the basis of that, the foundation of that is that they are somehow powerless and helpless to lift themselves. Certainly you can be an inspiration, certainly you can be a contribution, but it's subtle. So, number four, I do have to admit that the most people who come to my classes or my telecalls are women, and many of them are in the perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal stages of life. And I say, if you are, yay, yippee, it's completely the opposite of what most people would tell you. My researchers over the last 45 years, and now that I'm 65, and I guess I'm what you would call menopausal, is that it's this amazing jumping off point for you. It is the potential, the possibility to change things radically. And it is any resistance that you may have to that, any buying into, oh no, I must be now aging, I must be past my use by date, all of those points of view, which bring about the physical symptoms. And we'll talk more about that. But just to let you know, if that's you, oh, and something I was listening to the other day suggested that is it 6 to 7 years before you start to think you might be going into even perimenopause, it's probably already begun. It's like, wow. So if you go through the menopause at 55, perimenopause might have started at about 50, but go back 6 or 7 years into your 40s or maybe even 30s, which to me is like, well, yay, you've got even more time to take advantage of this incredible shift for your body, for you and your lovely body. Everyone take a deep breath and expand, please. Everyone pull some energy down through the top of your head. Oh. Expand your energy out. Bring some gold energy through your body. As always, take what resonates for you. And if something's not true for you, you don't have to buy it. Everything I say, hook, line, and sinker. Okay? Breathe. Wiggle your toes. Bring some earth energy up through your body. Out the top of your head. And then number 5 is the one thing. If there is one thing that you could take away from this hour or so that you're investing, I'd like to put it in a nutshell so you've got that. Above all else, the one thing that if you could get your head around it, we'll talk about it, don't worry, it could change everything for you pretty much right away. Now, the reason I offered a bonus for people to be on live was, I know it's an investment in time. I know that it's an hour or so out of your busy schedule. And I'm so grateful that you're willing to come on and contribute your energy to me and to everyone else who will hear this in the future. I think we have 160 people registered and probably, I don't know how many of us are on. 24, not bad. So we are actually expanding the energy for a lot more people. And secretly, I hope that the people who get the recording share the recording. That would be wonderful. I'm okay with that. But my gift to you is, in the early hours of this morning, I love leaving things to the last minute because the energy had to come together for this. I recorded a particular energy flows, gold energy flows, called Clearing the Channels. What I've been finding for myself personally in the last couple of years, but particularly the last 6 months, I haven't been running any classes, any courses. My last membership group finished at the end of February. I thought I was taking a couple of months off while a new website was being built, and it actually turned out to be 6 months. But it's been a fantastic time of introspection and thinking and opening up to my own channeling. Okay, here's the thing. I became aware that when you're in a really relaxed, let's call it meditative space, an altered state, when you're going very deep, sometimes you can be aware of that as the energy is coming towards you, it hits some little blocks. Well, that's what I saw, little stones or pebbles. And then we know that we are beaming energy out all of the time. Beaming that energy out, sometimes the energy hits some little snags or lockups. So this process is to dissolve the stones, the block-ups, the little glitches. And what they actually are points of view or belief systems, habitual patterns, many of them from family, many of them ancestral, some of them cultural, religious, from many, many lifetimes, that although you get that you're an infinite being, you get that frequency is the name of the game, still you're beaming out energy, asking for certain things, and they're not showing up. Or you think, for God's sake, by this time, shouldn't I be, healthy, wealthy, and wise by now? Shouldn't it all be flowing? Yes, And your soul does have a plan and an agenda, and we'll go more into that. And there's lots of practical, pragmatic energy things. I think energy work is very practical and pragmatic that could make that easier for you. So that is the little, I think it's 15-minute meditation. We're going to give you the link to that near the end of the Zoom. Okay, I'm really hot. You can tell I've gone bright pink. Everyone take a big breath and expand. And expand. Please feel free to interrupt me if you want to ask a question. I'm good with that. And often people will ask about something that I haven't even, that didn't even occur to me. Fantastic. It opens up more energy. So before I start to go through those 5 things, those 5 points, let's just clear up what it is I mean or is meant by the term quantum leap. So when I heard that, I thought of that old TV show from the 80s called Quantum Leap, where the guy would wake up every day in a different time and as a different person, a different gender, and have to solve a problem. It's not what I'm talking about with a quantum leap. The quantum leap that everyone is talking about is really where you finally get the leap is you get that the vibration you are being does actually create your reality. And you go, well, I know that. I've known that forever. No, but really. And it is as simple as cultivating the energies of what you would like to be, have, and do on a regular, consistent, daily basis, so that when you ask for something you would like to have show up, energy whispers or clues allow you to follow the steps towards that thing. Okay, so take a deep breath. So if somebody has a goal or a target of having a certain amount of money, what do? Do you try to vibrate as $1 million? Or do you try and vibrate as $100,000? Or it might be $100 just to pay a bill. This is where people get twisted and in a knot about it. No, actually, the reason we want the money or the partner or the job or the house is for the feelings, the energy that we believe that will give us. If I have this thing, then I'll be able to relax and be happy, and I'll begin my life's work, and I'll write the book, or I'll have a baby, or I'll fill in the blanks. Just expand and relax. It's about cultivating the energies that we think in our heads having a certain thing will give us now. And you can. There are ways that make it easier. For example, here's a hot tip: music. What? Listening to music that you love, not music I love or music recommended to you, a piece of music that gladdens your spirit, makes you want to dance or relaxes you or you want to sing along with. Actually, science has already worked this out, changes the frequency vibration of your brain and your whole body. More than that, even imagining a piece of music in your head produces a pretty similar effect. What, so we just listen to music all day long? Well, yeah, you could. Relax and expand. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So the quantum shift is, and it's already happened, you don't have to make the leap, you don't have to jump off a cliff, you don't have to go through initiations or any more initiations. It's already available, it's here now. One of the biggest stumbling blocks to us all is, I'm not sure I'm worthy. Deep down, have I done enough? I was mean the other day, I was nasty, or I was lazy, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm just not conscious enough. I'm not saintly enough. I still want stuff. I still want, like ice cream or a great house with a swimming pool. All of those judgments. This is why I'm saying it takes some commitment and time to keep spotting these things and going, wow, where do I deep down feel that I'm not worthy? And when am I going to get over that? Expand, expand, expand. Relax and expand. What I have found is the more I cultivate the energies of happiness, which for me can be watering my plants, getting the orchids to bloom, playing with my cat, the silly little things, the more I cultivate those energies, there's something called the backfire effect. The more obvious it becomes to me in the events going on in my life where I am still holding myself back. Now, I don't have to analyze those things and go, where did this begin in my childhood? Was I two? Was it from a past life? Just simply go, oh, wow. I didn't realize I was still defensive around people. Or lately, I've been spending a lot of time in the hospital, not for myself, for my beloved family member. And hospitals and banks, I get pretty irritated and tetchy. I get a bit, So spending a lot of time hanging around in hospital lately has really shown me I could actually go and not be irritated, upset, angry at what the doctors have got to say. Oh, what would a doctor know? I can relax and expand. I'm sure you all have examples of that yourselves. So, where are you using the potentials available, all of the work you have already done on yourself, all of the transformation against you, by not being willing to examine what you're thinking, examine your judgments of yourself. It's usually judgments of ourselves, not of others. Relax and expand. I might say, who do you think you are? And who are you really? Who we think we are is often based on what we've been told or what we've picked up psychically, growing up, going to school, in jobs, social settings. We pick up impressions. You may not have ever been told that you're stupid or boring or slow, but you may have got that impression, mistakenly or not, somewhere along the line. Every time you expand your energy out like we're doing now, expand the gold energy out through your energy field. Can you take your aura out further than your body? Much further, at least 6 feet. Fill the room with your energy field. The energy field isn't outside you, it's all through you. Wow. The space between your molecules that make up your body is energy. Inside the cells is energy. And that streaming energy field all around you, all through the earth, all around the earth, is filled with flowing energy waves called quantum entanglements. It's how everything's connected. And you probably know about this, and I've certainly talked about it before. So every time you have a thought, it catches an energy wave. Anytime you have an emotion or a feeling, it really catches an energy wave. And those energy waves are dedicated to bringing you more of that. They are filled with, let's call it, tiny units or particles of creation. A bit like fairy dust. That's just me. That's not actually like fairy dust, but it's very like that. The fairy dust is everywhere. And it is your thought or your emotion, your belief, the energy you are beaming out as you think you are this person. You might think I'm tired, or I'm menopausal, or I'm angry, or I'm sick, or I'm good at stuff and not good at some other stuff. It's all beaming out. The particles of creation are dedicated to bringing that into form for you. So it can show up as an event in your life. Something in your body can show up representing that. Just relax and expand. Because I know that as I'm saying this, you guys are all going to the energy. So if you have a thought that's so-called negative, you catch yourself, you go, wow, okay. A sticker question is, what else is possible here? If it's a bit of a meltdown, if it's an upset, it's really good to ask yourself, even to write down, what have I got to be grateful for here? Sometimes it's a short list. Relax and expand. Relax and expand. Which leads me into point 2. How do you not be the effect of what everyone else is thinking and feeling when you've got all of what you're thinking and feeling to contend with? A lot of the time, it's hard to tell if the sadness or the irritation or the upset or the worry is yours. Don't forget, you're a feeling being. Your body feels, and energy is a sensation for your body. So it feels real, sadness. I probably made a really bad or wrong comment on Facebook today. Oh no, can you believe it? But somebody famous in the personal growth movement passed away a couple of days ago. I did not know him. I had not attended his classes, but people I know had loved him and esteemed him. And he obviously was a fabulous guy, and he passed away suddenly. He transitioned suddenly. And someone posted, oh my God, that's so sad. And everyone went, I know, it's so sad. And I posted, why is it sad? Well, because if you truly believe that you are a creator, you guys are all master creators, you're creating your own reality, you're working it out your way, you don't really die, you do transition, you don't go anywhere, but you don't have a physical body anymore. Why are we all so sad? I thought, oh God, his family's going to read that. And so I went back and edited and went, no, of course it's sad for his family and there'll be pain and grief, which there will be because they won't see him anymore. They won't be able to hold him anymore or touch him, but he hasn't gone anywhere. So where do you judge yourself when you have thoughts like, what are they on about? Or don't give me that BS when someone says, oh, I should try and be a better person. How much do you shut down your own awareness? Now, sometimes if you feel irritated or upset or angry or weird, I'm a slow learner, to stop and go, wow, this energy here, am I actually being triggered and upset and reactive, or I'm actually aware of an energy? What is this? What am I aware of here? I'm getting a sniff in the wind of something. So it is not a matter of pushing the social media out, news out, the bad world out, building protective walls in your little sanctuary. It's a matter of being aware that all of those frequencies are available to you. All of those energies are available to you. Knowing what's you and what's that can be as simple as asking, you know, this old question, you know where it comes from, does this even belong to me? No. If it is, am I sad? What am I sad about? What does this remind me of? What am I being triggered to or back to or oh, okay. Be more space. What does that mean? Breathe and expand. The quantum leap really is to finally acknowledge that it is possible for you, the infinite being, to be fully here in your physical body. And that has only been possible for very few people over the last, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, 2,000 years. We call them the people who can be fully here, present, enlightened, Buddha, Jesus Christ. I don't know, there's a handful of them, a saint, some miraculous being. This is the big shift. Everyone can go. Everyone can stay. Everyone can be this. You don't have to leave your body to have ascension. The mothership is probably not coming down to take you with it. This is the possibility that is available to us now. We have many religious taboos, warnings, prohibitions against this. You must not, you dare not, you can't, you're not worthy. Your body will burn up spontaneously. You're deluded. You're listening to the devil. All those little blocks in your energy. What would my mother say? My mother would probably say, yay, take me with you. But just expand and relax. Whoa, a little bit more. Okay, right now, if you want to close your eyes, if you're not driving your car or mowing the lawn or operating some other form of heavy machinery, if you can close your eyes right now, relax and expand. You've got gold energy coming in through the top of your head, out your feet. It's filling your whole energy field, by the way. You pull gold energy through all of your energy field. If you feel drawn to running a different color, a different vibration, please do that. Use your awareness. Allow earth energy to stream through your body. And earth energy is just like the energy of a beautiful rose garden or a growing plant or being in a forest. It's very generative, restorative. It's all about life and growing. Expand, expand, expand. With your eyes closed, if you have an awareness that you're being a bit head-centered right now, just allow your awareness to drop down into your heart a little bit more. And then expand out from there. And then, so you've got your head is open, your heart is opening. Go down to what people call the base chakra or the sexual chakra, whatever, root chakra, whatever you want to call it. Open up there so that you have your creative, generative, which some people call sexual energy. It's all of those things. Having those three things open and streaming. Way out in front of you, allow a golden orb, a circle or ball of gold energy to come gently towards you. Very gently. Allow it to come into your head. Bring another one towards you, a golden orb. Gently, gently. Into your chest. Stream through your body, through your energy bodies. It can stream out the back, that's okay. Bring another one from way out in front towards you, into your tummy, where you're underneath your ribs, your diaphragm. Oh, we hold a lot of stuff there. Wow. Whew. Another golden orb into your reproductive organs, whether you've still got them or not. The energy components are still there. And allow this gold energy to spread through the organs of your body. If you're into chakras, the tissues, the bones. Your body is this wondrous confection, concoction you've drawn together from those infinite creative particles. But it's not as solid as it appears, your body. It's actually much more changeable, mutable, flexible. If you are aware you haven't quite made that connection to, as a woman, menopause is the opportunity for a huge change, a huge creative, generative explosion, if you like. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt and play with that. Relax and expand. Okay. Without having to stop the flows, you don't ever have to close a meditation down. You don't ever have to come back to reality. This could be your reality. And of course, as I'm always saying, the more you practice it, as soon as you get bored with my voice, start doing it yourself, the more this becomes the space you can be all of the time. In this new era that we are in, things can show up much more quickly than in the past. A thought you had at lunchtime can show up as indigestion at dinner time. And then you go, oh no, what did I eat? I knew I shouldn't have eaten that wheat thing. Well, was it the wheat thing? Or was it what you were thinking about at lunchtime or immediately before eating or even while eating? That's how quickly these things can show up now. Does anyone have a question? Or it doesn't have to be a question. It can be something that you want to share. Okay. Let me continue. What I have been finding, and I know I'm not the only one because I talk to a lot of people who work in this field, is that business has changed. Have you noticed? Times have changed. A lot of people have found that what used to work doesn't work anymore. Isn't that interesting? Actually, a point of view that may be helpful for you to nurture and develop a new point of view is that everything is happening for me, not to me. So if there is a downturn in business or a downturn in health or relationships or whatever, or a change that doesn't feel good, the question to be asking is, right, so Shauna said, no, if everything's happening for me, what's going on here? Now, sometimes and quite often, you know this, that it isn't until time passes and you look back and go, wow, you know, if that hadn't happened, I would not have blah, 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 met somebody or made the necessary change. But it doesn't have to be a difficult, big, upsetting thing that happens for you to go, everything's happening for me, not to me. While that point of view takes you out of victimhood, this is always happening to me. Why does this always happen to me? Or, Shauna, I know your course is probably amazing, but I'm sure it works for you, but it's not going to work for me, right? That whole idea of you're different because stuff doesn't work for you, but actually constantly, consistently, everything around you is contributing to you to set things up so they happen for you. And it can well be to bring stuff to our awareness. It could be multi-layered. It's different for everybody. You can start looking back at your life now and go, where did that actually, some event that I judged as a terrible drama, tragedy, bad luck, accident, was that actually happening for me? Was I off my path? And here's another awareness, and please forgive me, you may have already had these awarenesses. I can be a bit of a slow learner at times, is that for a long time, many of you know this organization, I was involved in an organization for about 15 years where we were not encouraged to talk to guides, angels, ascended masters, and certainly there was no such thing as your higher self or your soul. And so I've been very naughty and I've been playing in these areas in the last 6 months. I've always written in a journal. I've always acknowledged that I do channel. What I've been trying to channel is my true self, my high self. But as I acknowledge that there is a part of me that has a higher plan here, there's a part of me that has a grander perspective, shall we say. It's not really outside of me. It is me. Let's call it a future me. A me that knows a bit more than the me I know now. I'm going to suggest to you, I've always suggested that people do journaling, morning pages, write in the mornings, that you look at opening that up as a way of connecting with source energy. Now, one way of connecting with source energy is, of course, the energy flows, listening to beautiful music, being outdoors in nature, moving your body in a way that your body adores. And that's different for everybody. It could be walking or dancing or swimming or bouncing on a, mini trampoline. Just expand. But the more time you spend in this expanded space, realizing that everything you think and feel is actually creating your reality. And guess what? You can control that. You can actually direct what you're thinking and feeling by choosing things that bring you joy, choosing enjoyable things, having the point of view that you don't have to do anything, but you're choosing to do something. Oh, I have to get out of bed. Well, I'm choosing to get out of bed. I've got to clean my teeth. Well, I'm choosing to clean my teeth. It's a whole different ball game. Just expand a little bit more. So much so that I'm going to be running a course in December, actually, opening to channel, because I have just found it the most expansive and wonderful thing in my life, but it got me out of that thing where I put people on a pedestal who say they channel. Oh, well, who do channel? You know that the Happy Mouse system was channeled. You know that Access Bars was channeled. And somehow I've always thought that means those people are above me, more aware than me, higher spiritually in the hierarchy. Well, guys, the good news is the quantum leap is your perfect excuse to go, oh, this is available to me. And I don't have to dig and delve into my psyche to clear the way for it. It's just something I could begin with an everyday, consistent. Anyway, I will go into that at another point. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add to that? Or has there been an opening up for you in this way too? I'm I would love to know. Nope. Okay. So with the perspective that you can connect with source energy, it's an expansion of the concept that everything will communicate with you. Oh, thank you, Shamshad. I appreciate that. I'm just like you guys. I'm not a unicorn. Well, sometimes I feel I'm a unicorn. Everything can communicate with you. Things that you find meaningful, like I love the rocks on the beach. You know, my beach is not a surf beach, it's a rocky bay beach. I love those rocks. And about a month ago, a giant sea turtle washed up dead, unfortunately. She was enormous, like 3 or 4 feet across. And I know that that is a sad thing, and I did shed a tear, but I found myself standing and looking at her, lying on the beach, dead, and thanking her and wishing her well on her journey and saying, thank you for this. I mean, even though she was dead, she was still beautiful. And there's books you can look up. I've got one here. What does a turtle mean when you see a turtle? And it's got all, but it was a fabulous thing. Opening up to communicate doesn't necessarily mean the turtle's going to talk to me in words, and she might. Your jewelry will talk to you, your clothing, your house, everywhere you go, your cat. The world suddenly expands into this magical, magical place. It's a little bit like having the innocence and fun of a child with all of the good things about being a grown-up, all of the wonderful things about being whatever age you find yourself at. Everyone relax and expand. This leads me to really what this telecall Zoom is about, blossoming into the future. To me, it's pointless me blossoming into a future that's great for me when the rest of the world is falling apart. Unless I can be a contribution to the future peace, happiness, harmony, sustainability of the whole earth, the animals and the people, there's not a lot of point. But here's a vital piece of information, and you probably already know it, you've probably heard it, but please try and absorb this and live this. You are vital to that peaceful, harmonious, sustainable, abundant, happy future for the planet. Whether people may not choose it, but for those that are choosing, we're not enforcing a point of view upon them. I'm just saying, you, me, we are important. Our little tiny light in the grander perspective, we're just a small light, right? Matters. In fact, my vision of me when I do one of these Zooms is I'm a light, and then all of you are lights, and then we all light up, and that is like a supernova. Whether you listen in the past, whether you listen again, whether you listen live. Everyone take a deep breath. I think I'm missing something in the chat here. I have my lovely assistant, Susan. Oh, Louisa, hi. Louisa is saying, I hope you don't mind if I share this. Her phone wallpaper is writing, saying the answer is right in front of me and I will easily find it. And this just adds another layer to what that can mean with how everything can communicate. Absolutely. You know, a long time ago, back in the 80s, there was this amazing man, it was all channeled information again, so it must be more than I know, right? He channeled this amazing program, and the core of it was everything you need in any moment is always within, I think he said 50 yards in those days, but say 50 meters, 50 feet, doesn't really matter, within reach. And if you will have that as a point of view in any situation, whether if your car breaks down, as I have done, lock the keys in a letterbox and not been able to get back in the house, whatever situation you find yourself in, if you have the point of view, everything I need is always in my locality. The other thing I will say to you is, how do you know that you're in the right place? How do you know that this masterclass has something for you? You're here. It's always the right place, even if it feels wrong. You are always, I am always in the right place at the right time. There is always something here for me now. I can be expanded. I can be running my gold energy. I don't need to be saying anything. But if you are here right now, then you were drawn here. What drew you? An energy, your guides, your team, your soul, you, something is here for you. Take what is useful to you and use it. So I didn't realize I talked quite so much. Okay, so here's the thing why I'm so excited. This is what the next time, what's coming up for me is a new group of people where it's called the Bloom, Blossom and Bliss program. Oh, thank you. That was a bit sudden. So my program is, I've lost the plot. Can you take that down for a second, Susan? Because I just am, thank you. It's a program where you acknowledge that you are at midlife, whether you're 30, 35, 55, 65, and that there is an untapped, mostly untapped source of energy within you for change for your body, for the planet, for your life, for animals, for whatever you're interested in. As you guys know, with me, it's always an energy activation. So each month there will be a Zoom, there will be 2 energy flows activations. You get to choose how much you pay. There are 2 levels. All of my memberships that I've run before, the 2 biggest things people have said as they leave is there was too much stuff. I couldn't catch up. I couldn't keep up. There was just too much. I've made 2 levels. You can choose just to get the basics, the foundation, or you can choose the advanced level and there's a whole lot more material for you, a lot more interaction, right? You can choose how much you pay. There's 3 price options. I love that. For me, that feels so powerful. Why? Because yes, I love to have a lovely life and I love to have money, but I'm doing what I love and the money always follows. You know, guys have always said that. The program is about opening up to who you truly be. What are you really here for? What are your targets? And your target might be to be the best orchid grower in Southeast Queensland. It could be to have the best stamp collection. I'm not talking about Save the Children fund here, unless that's where you're going. It's an energetic exploration. I suspect that there is much more available for our bodies. I have for a long time. So we will be working with the body. We will be working with this whole female generative energy, as I call it, and then working and playing with all of the things that communicate with us. Colors communicate. Have you noticed that? I've had 3 different tops on today before this Zoom. Green, white, black, because the colors make me feel a different way. They project a different thing inwards and outwards. And mostly the bloom, blossom, and bliss is this idea that we are creating a future for the planet, not just ourselves. This is about, maybe you'll talk to a future self as I did the other day. This particular future self who talked to me was 125 years old and she looked great, I have to tell you. She had let her hair go completely white. It was quite long and it was sort of piled up. And I'm like, wow, I can't wait to be 125. That looks pretty cool. So you might call it a psychic exploration, I guess. It's an energy exploration. It's about the body. It's very much led by the energy read that I do for what is the theme, what's the energy for this month. And Susan, would you put that thing up for me now? Thank you. For people who are there, you can see, and I'm going to send this to you, don't worry. There's the foundation program. There's the advanced version. It's the same Zoom every month, but you choose how much you want to participate, how much you want to receive. There'll be a 25% discount on all future classes in the advanced version. You can cancel any time. Can you go to the next slide? Thanks, Susan. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to send this to you. Oh, yes. So this was important to me. If you're choosing to go ahead with this by, we've said midnight Tuesday, I'd really love to have a session, a one-on-one session with you. You know, it's $400 US to have a 1 hour with me. This is a half hour. If you've had a session with me before, you know it always runs over. We record it, and it's your personal stuff that you maybe don't want to talk about in a group, but let's get you started. What is it that you truly would like to bring forth? Is it with your body? Is it with your family? Is it some creative part of you? So you get to have that session for free. And then can you go to the next slide, Susan? This is my opening to channel class, the course, 4-part series starting in December. If you decide to join the advanced program and you're in it for the 3 months, you get this course for free. Because this whole thing of opening up to source, channeling yourself, being in contact with your guides, your angels, whatever, it may not float your boat. It certainly floats mine. And if you don't choose to be in for 3 months, you still get this at a discount if you're only in for a month or 2 months anyway. Do we have any more slides, Susan? I can't remember what we're up to. Oh, there we are. You can do that, scan that thing now. But I would really love to answer any questions, any nitty-gritties, if there's something that came up for you. I should call it the Master's Program because we're not apprentices anymore. We're moving forward with this. I'll just be quiet for a moment. We can unmute you if you have a question. So a topic that is hot at the moment is the elections, both in the USA and here in Australia. We've got a smaller state election happening. And I made a little energy flows video the other day about it. Who do you vote for? Well, actually, the energy is, if you could take that down, Susan, that'd be great. Vote for you. And what does that mean? It means that no politician, ruler, king, I mean, we have King Charles visiting Australia at the moment. Who voted for him? He's not the king of me. Vote for you. What does that mean? You are choosing your future. You will choose abundance, peace, harmony, happiness, a sustainable green growing earth. The technologies that have come through in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years for health, for restoring earth are just absolutely phenomenal. And we've definitely been taking advantage of some of that with my partner. As some of you know, he was given a diagnosis, don't you love this, that he had 12 months to live. Not quite 2 years ago, about 18, 19 months ago. He's still working full time. He's well. He gets tired. And we've been using a frequency wand, or he's been using a frequency wand on himself once a day, and we drink the water that's been wanded. It's all about frequency. Whether you use a tool on yourself or whether you actually create and generate the frequency yourself, which is what I think is useful. That's what I do for me. But as I say, it takes some commitment to you. It takes some consistency. It takes the willingness not to judge you anymore, to actually expand and choose the things that bring you delight and enjoyment. Oh, I've talked a lot longer than I thought I should. Again, any questions? Okay. Our first theme of the month for November, starts November 12th, is it's really a foundation month. This is the month to get, oh yes, sorry everyone, the free link to download the energy flows. Thank you for reminding me. So this won't be in the replay. You have to copy down the link that's going to be put in the chat. You follow the link and you can download the Clearing the Channels energy flows. So I'll let Susan do that. Put it in the chat. Thanks, Susan. That's why I have an assistant. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. Does anyone know what I was talking about?
November's theme.
Thank you.
November's theme.
Thank you. Okay, is a foundation month. You won't want to miss it because it's really, what are you here for? What matters to you? What's important to you? Where are you up to? Let's assist you to have clarity on what it is you wish to create, getting clear on your goals. Because it's easy for me to say, well, don't have as a goal a 2024 Toyota Camry and it's red. Instead, ask for the car that will bring you the most happiness, joy, and reliability, and it may not look like you think. And sometimes it's helpful to have that kind of guidance. It's also helpful to have a plan going forward. You can always change a plan and then get in the habit of following the energy whispers, because once you make it clear what it is you'd like to have, immediately the universe starts to send you clues and whispers. And I find for myself, my dreams are really helpful. Now, not all of my dreams, but some of them. And you can train yourself to remember your dreams. You can train yourself to be aware of what's just stuff going around in your head and what's actually a way that you get a message from yourself. Quite often dreams that are, let's say, upsetting, it's not necessarily meaning that you're going to have to do that or it means what you think it means. Often it's a way that you're working out stuff in your dream state so that you don't have to work it out in your everyday life. For example, there's a lot we can do with the cellular vibration. So this is what this means. I feel like a robot and I was just going to have a glitch out then. What is it? Science has already worked out that a healthy cell has a particular vibration. They can measure it. They know what it is. It's no surprise what it is. They also know what a cancerous cell frequency vibration is, or any other kind of not well cell, or an aging cell. Remember I said everything now is about frequency vibration. If you are consciously, with awareness and intent, running certain vibrations, frequencies, you can change the frequency vibration in those cells. what we've been doing with Bob, my partner, is using a wand, a frequency wand, to fire the frequency of healthy cells into the body. And that's been very helpful. But my point of view is, well, what if you, with training and intent, could do that yourself? Now, there's another little piece of that. What is it? I just had a little awareness there. It went, oh, so here's the other thing science, don't you love science, has found. They call cells that are getting old or aged in your body senescent cells. Like, couldn't it just say old cells? Senescent cells. Further research is showing that senescent cells, and it doesn't necessarily mean you are old in years. Cells do get old and tired even in young people, but they're replaced. But as we get older in years, they're not replaced as quickly as they should be. They're hanging around for a lot longer. The process is not working as efficiently as it used to. Those senescent cells excrete substances which lead to inflammation in the body. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been running around for years looking at inflammation in the body. I need to be doing stuff for my liver. I need this herb. I need curcumin. I need turmeric. I need all of these things. Inflammation, no gluten, no dairy, no tomatoes, no zucchini, the whole inflammation thing. Fabulous, great, good. But it's that cell reproduction and replacement that's not happening. Oh, it's just a natural part of aging. Well, is it? So I'm very interested to explore that. I'm also very interested to be able to talk to my body so I get a very clear read on what is required. And it may be magnesium, or it may be a frequency vibration. It may be not to eat wheat today, but tomorrow I'm okay. What if you had access to all of that awareness and knowing at your fingertips? That's what I'm interested in. This is my bloom, blossom, and bliss. So there was something in the chat there that I just missed. What was that? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for your clearing your channels energy activation. I know, it's a doozy. I ran that on myself about 6 months ago, and it's been a big game changer for me because there were energy blocks that I could not reach with my conscious thinking mind. But when you do it energetically, like all of this work is energetic work, it's so much simpler, so much more can show up for you. So I'm grateful for you all being here. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the people who will be listening in the future. I'm so grateful to my amazing mum. As many of you know, she's been having some interesting stuff going on, but she's just turned 92 the other week and is doing well. So thanks, Mum. Wave at the camera, Mum. All right. Thank you so much. I will send out the replay as soon as it's downloaded, uploaded, and all the magic happens. And lovely to see you all. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Verita. Toodaloo. Okay. Must remember to turn off recording first.